Okay, now a slightly less formal video. I'm going to cover the copy sequence and copy song functions. Right now we have sequences 5, 6, 7, and 8 in this song. And they're all different, so I'll just play through them. Okay, so now we're going to copy sequence 5 into all the other slots, 6, 7, and 8. So it'll be an exact copy. We go to the menu. We go to the copy sequence. So we have sequence from and sequence to, row from and row to, and then the transpose amount per copy, and then the number of copies. So we're starting with sequence 5, and we're going to copy to sequence 6, and we're going to copy all the rows. So there's a choice of 1 to 4 rows. So you could copy row 1 to row 2 in a different sequence, or you can copy row 1 to row 2 in the same sequence. There's lots of possibilities here. So anyway, and also we have an all, which is A, which means it copies all the rows from one sequence to another. We're going to copy sequence 5 to sequence 6, and also 7 and 8. So we're going to make 3 copies. They're going to be all identical, just so you can hear it. Okay, so that should do it. Now when we go back to the song arrangement page, so you can hear they're all the same now. That's a good way to start out if you want to create variations on a basic pattern and then just change a couple of notes for each sequence. Okay, so now we're going to do a copy sequence where we're going to transpose it as well as copy it. So we'll go back, we go to copy sequence. So we're copying from sequence 5 to sequence 6. We're going to copy all the rows again. This time we're going to transpose it by, say, 3 semitones for each copy. We're also going to make 3 copies again. Okay, that's done. Now let's go back to the main page. So you can hear that it's transposed as it was copied. You can go up or down by as much as an octave. If it exceeds the range of the sequencer, it will clip it off. So it will just go to the maximum value because, if you copied 5 semitones for each copy and you did 10 copies, you'd run out of headroom. So it'll just clip it off. Okay, so now we're going to go to the copy song function. So it's similar. Okay, so we're going to copy from song 02, which is what we're at, and we're going to copy to song 3, which is blank right now. So we're going to make 1 copy. You can change the number of copies. We'll just make 1 right now. We'll copy it, and it renames the song that we've copied it to song 02 copy 00, because we just made 1 copy. If there was 2 copies, it would be 01. So we copied song 2 and we copied it here. So now when we go back to the song page, if we select that song, okay, there's the copy now. As I mentioned previously, it only copies the chain of sequences. It doesn't actually copy the sequences themselves. So if I edited sequence 05, it would also affect that sequence in the song that we copied it from. So just be careful when you're editing if you want to keep the previous sequence. What the copy song is good for is that now I could go in, change one of the sequences to a different one. So I could try different sequence chaining without it affecting my original copy if I wanted to keep that. You can use the copy song and the copy sequence to initialize the sequencer. If you wanted to just copy generic values to all 99 sequences, you can do that if you wanted to just clean out the memory. Same with the songs. Okay, I'm going to describe how the CV input works. The CV input is a single jack, but you can route that CV to the pitch, the note length, the gate duration, and the slew for each of the rows. So there's a possibility of 16 routing destinations. You can route them to all the destinations or none of them. There's two CV pages. CV page 1 is routes to the pitch and to the note duration. CV page 2 routes to the gate duration and the slew amount. I have a random CV coming in from an LFO, and so I'll just show you that. Here you set the amount of depth. It can be 0 to 64 or minus 64, so it can subtract or add. There's also an offset. It's a positive going only CV input. So if you wanted to subtract and add, you can set an offset, say minus. So we have, say 24. So if we set it to a minus 12, it'll split it half and half. So it'll subtract and add. That's quite a bit of CV, but you could add just a subtle amount, which would give you a bit of variation in your sequence without it being so dramatic. We can also apply that to the note duration. So here we'll do that. So you can add quite a bit of change to the sequence. Now, to get rid of the CV routings, just hit clear, and it clears everything. We'll move on to the CV page 2. This sets the gate duration. You can hear how it's tying over because the gate's now longer than the note. And then we can add some slew. So there you go. That's the CV setup page. All these settings are saved with the song.